second semi-finals. A huge shout out to McDonald's Australia, who's been supporting us all season long. Our Macca's play of the game definitely have been a highlight each and every game. But for me, Jordan, this is going to be a tough one for Blank to bring it back. They're 2-0 down, staring down the barrel of defeat. Order looking so very good.
You're going to have to do something crazy here, Blank. And we saw Tung on stage saying, hey, we're going to run some crazy compositions. We've had this gaming house. We've had all this time to practice that Order hasn't. We have yet to see any of those crazy compositions. So if not now, then when, Blank? When is it going to happen?
Well, it needs to be now. That is for sure. Blank on defense. Order starting off on attack. And I'm going to change it up.
Well, nothing really out of the ordinary here for Order, as would be true to their name. Blank do have Tung on the Ana, which is a little bit different, though he has been good on it so far. The Bionades been able to pull them through a couple of fights, but it's just not enough right now. Order, too strong as a unit. Good rotations out here from Order. No one goes down on the first push, though Yuki does go low, but of course it gives a lot of that ultimate charge over to Unter. You can see he's up to 40% already. Sound barrier being built up. Kura drops low, but he's okay.
Look at Morton here, Jordan. He's already been sitting on this Primal Rage for about 15 seconds. Will eventually pop it out. Yuki, the first one down as well. Adam quite low. Quat's low also. Quat's looking like he's about to go down. Nice work from Noz. Adam is essentially demech there as well. And it was quite a long first fight, or a long time until the first initiation, in Order does not come out on top.
Well, and that's exactly why Modern's able to get so much work done. Obviously, if it takes a long time for that first fight to occur, the Tesla cannon of Morton on the Winston can hit so many players for such a long time that he builds that Primal Rage so quickly. And as soon as you get the Primal Rage, when Order doesn't really have anything to use against it, it's almost a free fight win in that first instance. But this is where it starts to get a little bit more difficult for Blank. Once Order starts to get onto the point and there's no Primal Rage, maybe they have more of a chance now.
The rally coming out from Blank, Jordation and Sign, both sitting on my ultimates. The rest of the team
Grab.
getting close. The grab comes through. That's coming out
They
from
weren't
Sign.
expecting that.
They won't even need to use anything else here, Jordan. 4 players go down. Order take their second fight with ease. All
Sign.
6 players remain. Classic work from Sign. And we talked about bringing him into the team, Jordan. You can see how it's paying off.
I mean, that is just a masterstroke, really, from Sign. You could tell Blank were just trying to harass. They weren't really too keen on committing to that fight, but Sign says, nope, you're going to have to fight us, and it's going to be on our terms. Only the one ultimate. Order sweep through point A. That's great to see.
Look at this, Jordan. We talk about momentum here on the Assault type map, particularly on Hanamura. And now Order sitting on 5 ultimate. This is going to be a tough one to hold for Blank. For sure, the rally is used first. Quats comes through with a shadow. Hits 3. Tung goes down. Modern pops the Primal Rage. But Damien goes down while holding the grab. And now Order are in a great spot. Surely we're not going to get through this with almost 5 minutes on the clock.
I mean, it does not seem like Order really cares at all what Blank is doing. They're playing their own game. They're making these engagements work. And Blank cannot stand up to the power that is Order from Season 1, 2019 Contenders.
Wow.
It's just a matter of time now before Order closes this one out.
2 support ultimates available, both of them
Or
are
maybe
fine.
not.
It does not stop Quats from going down. Noz picked up as well, potentially, whilst he was in Baby Diva Fawn. 2 more go down. Tung is out. Jordation found out. Sign used the grab onto the point. Need to pick up Kura. Blank trying to bring this back. They have, of course, that spawn advantage. Modern will go down to Yuki as well. Self-destruct from Adam. Noz picked up. Blank still, it looks like the respawn's now coming in Order's favor. They might be able to get this across the line.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. I was a little bit concerned for a moment, but Order, geez, that was fast. And really, that was great team coordination. Yuki, every time he gets the shield bash there on point B, that player is instantly focused down. And the comms from him must have been so strong. And look at this, you got to scratch your chin there a little bit and think, what on earth are we going to do here, Blank? Because, you know, there was so much hype around this roster during the regular season. They have absolutely not shown up in this semi-final. Order is putting on a display, and I don't think Blank can come back from it.
Jordan, it's like they left it back in the team house in New Zealand. It's like when you get to the airport without your passport, but it's even worse than that because they're already here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too late to go back and get it. I certainly hope that is not the case. 4 minutes 23 in the time bank here.
Yeah,
for
big
Order.
question as well now about what Blank wants to run on the defense. Again, we have yet to see anything outside of standard goats, Winston goats, or Sombra goats. So it's really been one variation only for Blank. But now it looks like we finally get to see some DPS compositions out for Blank, which was what they were infamous for during the regular season. And look, to be honest, Ben, it's quite obvious that they're not going to get it done on the GOATS compositions. So I'm quite happy to see this DPS come out now for them. But if they can't get it done here, I mean, it's not going to happen, quite frankly, because the game's going to be over.
Well, that's it, right?
But if they can't do it with their best composition throughout the season, they're never going to get it done.
I still can't help but wonder why it's taken so long to see this. Maybe the result will be obvious, Jordan, as they come on out. Is there something we don't know about Order defending against this team comp? We will have to wait and see. But the pressure is very much on here for Blank. They need to capture both points. They need to do it quickly.
And they're going to need to do it all over again as well. Morton onto the Wrecking Ball, as you like to see with a composition like this. It means he can kind of do his own thing. He doesn't need as many resources on that Wrecking Ball as you would on a Winston, or particularly not a Reinhardt, for example. Order, though, they are aware of how to play around this composition, but Unter goes low. He might get picked, does get back to safety. No! Tongue from downtown.
Yuki low as well, as is Jordation. Order doing what they can to keep the team alive, but anything is possible right now for Blank. They're doing what they need to do. Roro coming through, getting ever closer to that ultimate charge as well. Adam almost getting D-Mech, Quats getting hacked up. The team falls back. Great nade comes out, captures 3 of them. Adam gets D-Mech. Jordation low. Roro with a huge rocket barrage. Picks up 3. Massive plays from Blank.
Well, I didn't even realize that he'd built it up so quickly, but of course it is Roro, so you can't be too surprised. And, well, that's what we wanted to see from Blank from the very start of this series. They've finally been able to show us something, but my question becomes, Ben, when we do head into point B here, let's not get too overexcited, because DPS compositions tend to be a little bit more difficult to make work here on the attack on point B, and Order should be feeling much more confident now.
EMP available here for Noz as well. If he can,
they have to do it in this first fight.
It has to be right now. Will get detected straight away. Has to be careful. Rolling back, looking for the first point capture, looking for that first tick. EMP comes through. That's 1, 2, 3. Adam going to get D-Mech as well. Quats comes up and picks up Tongue. Kura going to pick back up Noz, but Blank looking a little bit ragged right now, Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you see that EMP come out and then Order gets 2 picks, you're just thinking, what the heck happened there? I mean, that was really the one win condition for Blank. Get a good EMP, but you could see how well Order was playing around that. They had their players toward the back, toward the spawn. Adam was forward, so there was never really going to be an easy avenue for Noz to get a good EMP out there. It ends up only hitting 3 players, and Order still win the fight anyway. Now we're going to default back to the GOATS composition, and yeah, well, it worked for Blank, obviously, with the DPS on point A, but now you have to push point B, economic ult disadvantage,
and Blank's yet to win on this team comp today.
Exactly.
Grav comes through, going to capture them out on the high ground. Kura the first one down, quickly followed up there by Modern, as to be expected, to be perfectly honest. And whilst we did have about 7 minutes on the clock to kick this one off, that could be 7 minutes of disappointment for Blank Esports fans right now, because it is a very tough slog ahead.
I'm definitely starting to get the feeling that that might be the case, but I don't want to call it too early, but I can't see Order losing it from here. They have just been way, way too solid. I mean, already, if Blank actually caps here, they're still probably going to have a time bank disadvantage. I don't see them doing it in the next minute. Looking at how this next fight is going to play out with the ultimates that Order have got. Really, they've got everything they could want. The party mix.
They've got the ultimate advantage. They seem to be better at 3-3. They've got the spawn advantage.
They've got momentum. They've got confidence. They've got literally everything. Name it, and it's in Order's favor.
They've got the high ground by the sounds of things as well, Jordan.
Well, we all know how that turns out.
Exactly right. Going to dive on in. It's Quats doing what he can. Throws it through. Roro goes down. Another great pick. No ultimates used here other than that on Yuki the rally. And you don't really put all that much into that one. And Order is going to come out back on top.
This is just so clean from Order. I mean, there's nothing more to say about it. Like, only the rally out from Yuki there. Blank can't even force anything out. Order are perfectly rotating through their ultimates, perfectly rotating through their positions. They're taking these fights amazingly as well. You can't really see that there's much of a foot being put wrong by Order, or if there is, Blank certainly is not seeing it because they're not taking advantage of it. Once again, they're going to try and go for the high ground here, Blank, but it feels like they're ramming their heads into a brick wall. We're going to need to see an absolutely insane play from one individual here on Blank, be it a shatter, be it something. Something has to happen.
Jordation with the Transcendence. Quats charges through. They drop back down onto the low ground now, holding the point. Blank push through, self-destruct from Adam, looking to zone. Beat is dropped by Unta, the shatter by Quads.
Doesn't hit anyone.
No, neither does Bolden, to be perfectly honest. Noz about to have the self-destructors also. Could be clearing out. Yuki goes down looking
Grab
for more.
for
Not going
Sign.
to be the case. Sign is looking for the big picks here. Where did that even go?
He got it on
corner.
Tom.
Right. They're getting the point here, Jordan. Blank needs to make the most of this. A bit of a staggered spawn coming out from Order, also with Jordation now going down. And all of a sudden, round 2 complete here for Blank on attack, and they do so with time in the time bank. Any other day of the week, you'd probably be relatively happy with that.
You would. I mean, to be fair, I think that's actually a pretty good result from Blank. Under definitely not happy about that. Having some words with the team. Jordation throwing a bit back across there as well. I mean, it was looking so dire for Blank at that point. I thought it was over, as I said.
Yeah.
But they managed to claw their way back. You know, there's only a 1-minute deficit, roughly speaking. Now, that is enough to work with for Blank. You know, if they have a good attacking side here, they're going to be able to go through, maybe even with another time bank available to them, and then really put Order to the sword, for lack of a better word.
Well, they were good on the first objective, weren't they? So there's serious potential for them to do the same here. If they get through objective A, they'll get another 30 seconds on the clock. They'll head across to the second objective and try to do it all again. 3 minutes 18. If you start with 8 minutes, you've got 3 minutes 18 left. Probably means it's going to be a tough ask, I suppose, to do it twice. 4:23, to be fair, is not that much better, but 60 seconds is still quite significant.
Yeah, it definitely can be. You know, that can be the difference between one more push and you losing the map. So we have to see how that sort of pans out. Is that ripple effect going to come into effect maybe later on down the track if we get into another set of the time banks? Or is it going to be something that's going to affect it right here and now? And is Blank even going to be able to have such a clean fight on point A that gives them that opportunity into point B? Because, you know, you're not going to get that every time against Order.
Well, Blank going to find their way onto the point. It's Damon out first here on the Tracer. They're going to be looking for a pick. Adam takes quite a bit of damage. Gets healed up for now.
Oop.
Recalls back. Adam gets hacked up as well. They're really targeting this Diva for now. Noz quite low as he obviously went through for that hack. Roro up nice and high, but they're not doing all that much work. They need to find a
Roro
pick.
almost has Barrage. He's at 85%, Ben, so that is really what Blank is waiting for right
and
now.
Adam's being D-mech, Jordan. With no Diva, you can't put up the umbrella. Roro onto
There
the
it
point,
is.
throws the barrage again. And on the back of their Farah player, Blank Esports will find themselves objective A.
Yep, it's just a war of attrition. As long as Blank doesn't lose a player, they're going to be putting more damage out. They're going to be building those ultimates faster than the GOAT's composition is, particularly the Farah with the splash damage on those rockets. And there you go, point A captured up. 2 minutes and 44 here for Blank. And again, we go back to that same situation that we had in the last round in the regulation time where Noz almost has an EMP. Blank have a great opportunity to push through in this first fight. They need to make it work.
Sitting up the back, needs to stay alive. Of course, has that nano boost available. Damon going to be looking for a target with that pulse bomb as well. 2 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock. The nano boost will come out. Will it be enough? Will they be able to find a pick? And Noz goes down. Where even is Yuki?
Yuki just ran at Noz, who was kind of hanging around on the point, just chilling, and it was like a fly swatter at that point.
Yeah.
We know what that turns out to favor the fly swatter more so than the fly, and in this case, I think we all know which one Noz was.
Still sitting on this DPS composition, Jordan. Roro now up to about 50% here. Blank sitting on a ton of ultimates. This is their opportunity waiting for a great EMP coming out from Noz. Throws it.
It hit no one.
It doesn't hit anyone at all. The beat is dropped by Hunter as well. And Morton does go down. So that was a, well, I guess a bit of a dud, to be perfectly honest. But Blank still trying to make the most of it.
They're not going to be able to, Ben. There's still a self-destruct here for Adam to buy space if even necessary. I think it's time for Blank to go back to square one. You know, this DPS composition not working into point B. Okay, you got it done with GOATs, but now you don't have time to build those ultimates. There's a minute 15 on the clock. I think Blank are going to really struggle to get through point B once again. And Order, they may already know what their goal is going to be once we see them on attack with 4 minutes and 23. It's definitely within their grasp. But still, Blank may well have one last dying breath available to them. But they're going to have to go through a Graviton Surge, a self-destruct.
I still can't believe that EMP missed. It must have been like half a meter short of about 3 or 4 different people.
Yeah.
It maybe looked good, but
Hello,
unfortunately
look at
just
Adam.
not enough. Going to walk into the high ground is Blank. And so many ultimates available here for Order signed. Throws out the grab onto the high ground. Adam in there, in the mech, throwing out punches.
And the beauty of it is that Order, they've seen these role swaps. They know that there is no defensive support ultimates for Blank available. Once that grab goes out, traditionally you would see self-destruct to follow it. But Order have been tracking the ultimates, and Adam knows that he doesn't need to use it. Order are going to be able to do the damage through the grab anyway, which makes the job, of course, so much easier here on this next defense for Order. Adam can buy so much space with that self-destruct.
They're going to struggle to even get onto the point here, Jordan. It's going to be tough. They're going to have to charge on in just at the last second, and that's not necessarily
Here's a
the
self-destruct.
position you want to be in. Roro's already gone down. Tongue picked up also. Modern low. Noz potentially going to get demeched. He's stunned back. Kura down. Blank Esports will go down here on objective B. Order holds strong. Now they're going to have 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Potentially another 30 on top of that, to make their way through 1 1/3 objectives and secure themselves a spot in tomorrow's grand final.
Yeah, just the 1 tick required for them on point B. So I think if Blank's not going to be able to get it done here on point A, Order should, in theory, be able to knock it over. Now, you've got to remember, there is the possibility of a draw still.
Well, we saw it before. We saw it in literally the last semi-final, the exact same thing.
Yeah, in which case, I guess still not so bad for Blank, but feels as though it may be delaying the inevitable if we do come to that. Nonetheless, it would be better than a loss, that is certain. So, 4 minutes and 23 here for Order to play with on Hanamura. And probably bet a bit of money that they're going to be going GOATS composition once again. Not sure if you're keen to take that wager, Ben.
Yeah, well...
thanks for the free $5.
I can't help... No, you still owe me like 3 cheeseburgers from the regular season.
Maccas will cover it for me.
I think also
as their favorite caster of Overwatch Contenders AU, I'm sure.
I don't think you're their favorite caster.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't think you're any. No, it's okay. I'm sure you got more fans than me. It's okay. They love you. Look, this is what it comes down to for Blank. An entire season right now. 7 weeks of regular season play, a quarterfinal, now a semi-final here in Kudos Bank Arena, and they need to defend this point. They need to defend Hanamura, or their hopes and dreams die here.
They had a pretty decent run of it until Order found that 1 or 2 picks with Science Grab. I think that's a mistake that Blank will be making again, but they have actually allowed Order through, and this time the difference is Morton has only built 25% of the Primal Rage, so it's not going to be an easy fight win initially for Blank. Order will bide their time, heal themselves up, and now they'll really push themselves onto that point with confidence.
Yeah, look at this. Modern going to get forced back there. The rest of the team charges through. Roro's gone down early as well. I think so many heals were going on to Kura that it was hard to keep the Brigida alive. Order now onto the point Blank, looking particularly unhealthy. They need to try and bring this back.
They're not going to be able to, Ben. They're playing 5v6 at the moment unless we see the next pick go the way of Blank. It's surely done on point A. Kura down now means there's way less survivability in the fight for Blank, and they have to give it up, or they have to really just die on the point more so than anything else.
Well, Jordan, the more they stagger here, though, the less desirable it is for Blank on defense.
Well, it builds up all the ultimates for Order. Let's look at what they've got. Yep. Shatter's going to be up, Self-Destruct's going to be up, Sound Barrier.
And they only need 33%.
I mean, everything's up. I don't need to go through.
Here. They're going to have a full house, 5-1.
Well,
6
can Blank do it?
To go.
Damon's got grab. That could be key for Blank.
Throws out the grab up on the high ground. Modern pops the Primal Rage to keep himself alive. He almost goes down.
How is he alive?
I don't even know, Jordan. I don't even know. It must have been Tongue coming through with the nano boost with the heals. It was just enough.
They got Roro.
Shatter comes through. Roro knocked down. The beat is dropped by Kura. Transcendence will come out from Jordation. Blank running out of ultimates as Order find pick after pick. That's 3 down. Looking to make it 4. Damon is low. He's found out also. Only need 1/3 of a tick. Contesting the point, but I can't help but imagine that this will not be enough for Blank to keep themselves in the game here. Order through to tomorrow's grand final, 3-0, take down Blank Esports.
Well, they've done it again, but what have they really got for themselves ahead? Obviously, it is Sydney Drop Bears and Order now. We know that in the grand final, and we saw that same matchup last season. Sydney Drop Bears there was questions about them, and they were most certainly answered last season. But Order, this roster now looking stronger than last. And for Order, they may be able to have another chance at that Sydney Drop Bears, at that crown, which they've been so desperately searching for now. 3 seasons in a row, Order, we've seen them at season finals, twice in a row now in grand finals of the season finals. And maybe, just maybe, this will be the first season where they do actually lift that trophy.
Well, they come through today without dropping a map. They come through today, really, gents, without showing their cards. They steamrolled over this blank Esports lineup and locked themselves in a spot tomorrow against the undefeated Sydney Drop Bears. 3 from 3. Order to looking to lock them out.
I'll be honest, man, I think they showed plenty of cards. The problem here is it was just royal flushes the entire way, wasn't it? They had all the best cards. And blank, they just showed up with nothing time and time again. Fold, fold, fold. And there's only 3 games, 3 maps you can afford to do that. And in fact, you can't actually afford to do that. And it was all too easy. And that's the underlying thing here. This was supposed to be the highlighted semi-final. And now I'm scared to hype any game up because I don't know what's going to happen. Order have completely shown up today. This is the best I have ever seen this team play. And they are truly deserving of this victory.
I have the slightest feeling there that the surprise that was going to come out of blank was, oh, we've practiced a lot of 3-3 and we think we're a lot better at it now, and we're even better than we are. We'll be even better at it than Order are. We'll be able to beat them. They'll be preparing for DPSs. They're not ready for GOATs, and boy, were they wrong. Order are ready for anything you throw at them, and they will pay it back double.
I don't know, man. I feel as though Tongue did say crazy compositions. To me, GOAT's composition is not crazy, so we'll see. I mean, obviously, we have to talk to him after.
You
but
ever met a GOAT in real life? They are nuts.
Well, that's true. But look, whatever it was that we saw from blank, it wasn't anything crazy out there. Like you said, it was probably what Order was expecting, or at least prepared for. And, well, we saw the result.
Is it just a scenario here where Order is blank's nemesis? They beat them in the regular season. They've beaten them comfortably today. This same lineup here for blank took down the Sydney Drop Bears in the regular season. What a surprise to see this be the result here on land.
I'll be honest, I think blank was blank's biggest nemesis in this particular match, but at the same time, I will also say, look, Order played out of their minds. This is the best we've ever seen Order across every single season, not just this one. And you also have a case now where blank finished the series the way they started it, on GOATs, in a GOATs mirror, not what they're supposed to play, not what they're good at. Order know that, and they're saying, whatever you bring to the table, we are prepared for it. And as soon as you go to Hanama, as soon as Order go into that final time back and they see it's a mirror composition, they've already won. They're already celebrating. They know they're in the grand final.
What I will say there as well is, I mean, if Order weren't blank's nemesis, then they should be after this one, right? Because you're right, Ben, the record speaks for itself here. Order are just, I mean, they seem to be always able to bring the beat down to blank, no matter how good blank seem, no matter how confident blank seem. And after this one, I think this one would sting the most. Blank will be bristling, and they're going to hold on to that feeling until next season.
Well, after a very quick 3-0, let's throw it back across.